Welcome to Flow with the Grow. I'm your host, Sophia, a health and fitness professional, positivity distributor, and a real-life human being with real-life challenges. Every Tuesday, you will hear my honest conversations on the day-to-day highs and lows that life teaches us, as well as bring you actionable tips that you can implement to improve your health and wellness journey. This podcast will empower you to flow with the inevitable setbacks of life. You will learn what it means to flow with the grow, see through a lens of optimism, and navigate your way to living your best life. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Now let's jump into your daily dose of positivity and growth. Hello, what's up? How's it going? For me, I'm kind of freaking out just a little bit because T-minus 5 hours until I freaking skydive, until I jump out of a plane. I'm really nervous, and I don't think it's really hit me yet that I'm actually doing it. By the way, my name is Sophie. I'm the host of Flow with the Grow podcast, and welcome. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for joining me. I never been skydiving before, and when I was younger, it was a bucket list item. I was like, yes, someday I want to go skydiving for sure. I was a bit more fearless, I would say, in that aspect, adventurous, risky type adventures. But I got to a point where I was like, you know what? If I never go skydiving, I'm totally cool with that. Totally fine. No worries. Like if I didn't cross it off my bucket list. But then a couple months ago, a friend from college, we kind of reconnected, and he asked, I don't know, we somehow got on the topic of skydiving. And he then asked me of a few dates because I think I must have said, oh yeah, I'd go or I'd try it. And he sent me over some dates that they had available, some weekends. And I was like, okay, you know what? Opportunity is right in front of me. And for me personally, I know that when an opportunity is placed in front of me, that's kind of like when I do best. It's just, I know that for me, I don't know if anyone has been into human design, but for my energy type, I do very well when I kind of wait for opportunity in some cases, I guess. And when it's presented to decide if I want to do it or not. And I was like, you know what? It's an opportunity. I've kind of always wanted to do it. And so let's just do it. So I chose a weekend. And after that, I was kind of like, you know what? Maybe I'm going to regret it. And actually, I said the weekend and I never really said like, yes, let's for sure do it. He just signed us up. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm doing it. So that's going to be in about 5 hours. I'm sure I will tell you all about it on my next episode, but I'm excited, but I'm nervous. I'm literally facing my fear because one of my ultimate fears, like my actual ultimate fear, is death. And I'm so scared. And also, whenever I'm in an airplane or something's like, I don't know, I always think of worst case scenario and I just picture it in my mind, and then I scare myself and freak myself out. But I, in an airplane, like an actual airplane flight one time, experienced very bad turbulence, like not just a little bit of turbulence, but like a lot of turbulence. And I legit feared my life. It was that bad. Like even people in the airplane were like, what is going on? Like I can't even describe to you the feeling. Like it was in like my stomach, my heart, and I literally feared my life. I thought we were going down for sure. And I already kind of struggled with just the fear of what could go wrong in airplanes and of death and all of that. And then that happened. And I don't know. My therapist, we kind of talked about it. I might have some PTSD from that. So yeah, well, I guess I'm doing it. And I kind of thought about how maybe I'm going to back out, but I'm really going to try not to. I think it's going to hit me more when I'm driving there. And then when I'm actually there putting like all the stuff on. And then when I'm going up in the airplane, and I'm probably going to cry. I'm probably going to start crying. That's how nervous and like, I feel like my anxiety is going to like go through the roof, but we're doing it. And also at this time, it's very smoky. So I don't know if there's going to be delays, if it's going to get rescheduled, or if we're going to actually do it. Hopefully it does not get delayed because it's already kind of later in the day. But anyways, so it's very smoky. There are fires, wildfires, I think like out in Idaho or Canada. I'm not really sure. Maybe both. But I know there are fires going on, and it is creating so much haze and smoke. The smoke is coming over, and it's really decreasing the air quality. So we'll see what happens with that. We haven't heard anything yet. So as of now, it is on. We are on to jump at 3 p.m. Or not at 3. We go to do paperwork and whatnot. Okay, second thing I wanted to bring up, and by the way, if you hear it's like little kids and ruckus, whatever going on, it's my niece and nephew playing upstairs. Anyways, I wanted to talk about Simone Biles. What a fucking queen, rock star, person to look up to. The fact that she pulled away from the Olympics to prioritize her mental health and her well-being is freaking noble and courageous and shows tremendous strength. And you cannot change my mind about that. I know there's people out there who are saying because she didn't do good at vault and like this and that. And oh my gosh, I saw this. Okay, I'm going to read this post that I saw because this is what I'm talking about. This is why mental health is kind of the stigma. Okay, so Piers Morgan, I don't know if that's how you say his name, Piers Morgan. This was, I believe, on Twitter or Instagram. I don't really know. Doesn't matter. He said, "No, I take mental illness very seriously. What I don't like is people cynically using mental health as a protective shield against any poor performance or justified criticism. It distracts attention from those with mental illness who need help /care/treatment. Like, this is just full up and infuriates me. Are you kidding me? And then this other girl that I follow on Instagram, she said, "This is literally the epitome of mental health stigma. This is why it takes massive courage to share, because much of the world still believes they can tell if someone is struggling based on how they look." Yeah, like, are you kidding me? And then also, like, the people who are sitting in silence, like not saying anything, they're going to be seeing everyone, like people who are like this, saying those things and still stay quiet. It really is the epitome of mental health stigma. Like, it took so much strength and courage for her to do that in the middle of the Olympics. And that shows true leadership and strength. And it takes a good leader to know when to step down, to know when to prioritize something that is more important. So she is like literally changing the game. She has changed the game by her doing that. And I think it's awesome because she is someone who, she is very well known. And I know there's younger people who look up to her. So I feel like I know it's really going to inspire people and empower people to start to put their mental health first, or maybe to recognize it, to become aware of this aspect of health and wellness, and that, hey, it is important. I even saw a post and I shared this to that Biles. It said, "Biles just redefined what self-care looks like." And it's so true. Like, just, oh my gosh, I can't, just the strength, and it's such a noble move on her part. And she knew when to step aside. A leader knows when to step aside. And she knew that she recognized that she wasn't okay to go ahead. And she made that courageous choice. And I'm sure that was not easy. But I just want to applaud her. And I think it's freaking amazing. Like, we don't need more gold medalists. We need more Simone Biles, for real. And I hope that you too can be inspired by what she did and what she has done. And instead of ridicule her, like, no one knows how she's feeling, what she's thinking, what she's going through. Funny thing, I saw someone say like something how grown men can't even do a cartwheel, and they're complaining about her, or like criticizing her, and what I just thought it was funny. But it's so true. Like, we are so quick to judge other people and to shine a light on the negative side. Why? Like, we just gravitate towards that. Like, why can't we applaud someone for doing that for themselves? And she's a human being. She's a person too. And she's more than just gymnastics and gold medalists. And she has mental health. So for her to do that, I just wanted to recognize that. I think it's amazing. And I hope you also can be inspired by that. Because yes, self-care is a lot of things. It can look like a lot of things. And mental health is definitely one of them. So something that I kind of wanted to share more on today's episode was just kind of more about me and where I'm at, and my training workout program that I'm doing, just kind of updates on me, because I haven't really done that in a while. I've shared my story in the past, or at least the first part of it. And while I'm not going to do that today to finish that or to go into the second part, I just kind of wanted to give an update on me, and not really who I am, but what I'm doing for my workouts, as well as give you some quick, easy, healthier snack type options, or maybe not snack type options, but food to like easy on the go things for food that I would have my clients get, or I would get for myself when I'm traveling, because this kind of came up a lot recently the past week. I know it's summertime, people are on the go, traveling, people are busy, and just kind of giving tips for what you can do, what you can pack to help you with still getting in some of those healthier nutrients, to not resort to fast food places and things like that. So first of all, I am currently working towards my running. I'm working on increasing my endurance, longer running while strength training. I have a Tough Mudder this month in August, and then also a half marathon in September. But I do have a goal to run a half marathon in every state. So right now I hired a coach. He's helping me to help get up my endurance. And I would say that I'm an expert. I am not an expert runner, but I'm an experienced runner. So I've never really had purpose behind my running. I've never set out a plan for myself. I know there's things I can look at online, I'm sure, but I just kind of wanted to get that extra accountability and have someone else tell me what to do for workouts for a change instead of me telling other people. I've actually never had a coach myself, and I was thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? I tell people to invest in a coach all the time and the importance of it and the benefits. And I realized, you know what? I'm not doing that. I need to be doing that. And I wanted to kind of see how it would help me, how it would push me, how it would hold me accountable. I have no problem working out on my own. Like, I can motivate myself, I can challenge myself, but I just kind of wanted to see what would happen when I had that extra accountability, when I had actual other workouts planned for me, given to me, and how that would all play a role. So I'm working on longer distance running to train for half marathons, which are 13.1 miles, as well as still incorporating strength training. Each week, I currently have a short run, medium run, long run, recovery run. So we started off with a lot lower mileage in the very beginning, and I've been doing this about 3 to 4 weeks now. And now my longest run is 7.5, and my shortest run, which is my recovery run, is 3 miles. Even my short run, I think, is 3 or 4 miles. But I have a short, medium, long, and recovery run each week. And there are definitely a lot of kids. There are 2 kids crying right now, I think. I don't know if you can hear it, but so right now we're keeping the running at a lower pace, a lower effort level. And then I think as the weeks go on, we're going to do some other maybe hill sprints and faster paced running. My next half marathon is in Colorado. So I told them the elevation is something that I'm kind of worried about. So we're going to do things that will more so tax my system, my running, in order to train for that. And I must say, honestly, there's no way, I could have in the very beginning told myself, you know what, I'm going to do 3 runs a week and do lifts, but there's no way that I would be running as much as I am right now if I were just doing this on my own. And I know this because in the past I have told myself for half marathons, I'm going to do 3 running days a week or 4 running days or whatever it was, and I never stuck to it. I just kind of up and ran the half marathon. So like I said before, I feel like I'm an experienced runner, but not an expert runner. So I never really knew how to properly train for a half marathon or longer distances. So I'm really loving just having someone tell me what to do and kind of at a slower progression. Whereas before, I never really had a purpose to my running or any of the runs that I did. I would just kind of go out and run as long as I felt like it, or did sprints as much as I felt like it. No purpose behind them, no actual goal in mind with any of them. Just kind of went. And it ended up being it would only be a couple times a week. And normally I would prioritize things I got to do for work or other things. And I would say, okay, well, I'm just going to lift and not run. I would push running off to the side because personally I love to run, love to run, but also I love to lift. And if I were to pick and choose, I guess it kind of depends on the day, but I most of the time want to do both because it is kind of time consuming. I would just sometimes be okay, well, I'll just run tomorrow. Or I would just keep pushing it off, life happens, much like you might struggle with going to the gym for workouts. If you don't have a set time, if you don't have a time with a class or a session or a trainer or a friend, we're a lot more likely to just make an excuse, give up on ourselves, and we're not held accountable because it's easier to just give up on ourselves and it's easier to just not do the thing. And for me, running is a lot more metabolically demanding. It is more challenging. It is harder for me to do than lifting. So it is a lot easier for me to push it off and to not do it. So most of the days when I run, I have a strength training lift as well. Shorter because I told them that I don't have a whole lot of time because of with work and everything. I usually do a lift 4 days out of the week and running 4 days out of the week. So then one of the days is just lifting or one of the days is just running. And then on the weekend, I have a recovery run with some prehab exercises that I can do whenever. And I'm really loving it so far. It's going well. I love having to track my mileage and pace and just kind of having a goal for each run for how many miles I'm going. Like I'm actually saying, okay, today I'm going to run 3.5 or 4 or 7, whatever it may be. Other than my workouts, my training for that, I feel like I've been in a very good place mentally and emotionally most days. Of course, we all have those days where lately I kind of feel like one day I'm on top of the world. I'm just killing it. I'm high vibe. And then other days I like literally the next day I will be low vibe or just kind of not here mentally, or I'm just kind of struggling, or I'm not as creative, or I don't even know how to explain. I'm not as energetic. Like I'm just kind of at a weird place with that sometimes. Like it's kind of happening more often, more and more. But other than that, I have absolutely nothing to complain about. Okay, now I want to get into ending with quick nutritious based snacks that you can take for on the go, things that have worked very well for me, things to keep in mind when you're traveling and when you're taking things with. So first of all, I always like to keep these things on hand because I'm on the go a lot and I just like to grab and go. And working at a gym, I have things back to back to back a lot of the days, and it's really hard for me to just sit down and eat, which kind of sucks, but that's just how it is. And so these are things that I have on hand that are very quick and easy and take like a minute to eat, if that. So if you have the preparation really is all just planning, writing down these things, going to the grocery store, getting them, and just packing them with minimal work, minimal effort, probably faster than going to a fast food, because when you go to fast food, you have to sit in line most of the time and you wait for the food and whatever. And it's just not the best option for you anyways. So first thing that comes to mind, salmon and tuna packets, or I know there's like easy open cans that you can take, high in protein. There's good nutritional value in that. Makes you fuller, satiated, I guess. So that's number one. Number two, hard-boiled eggs. So easy. And sometimes I will sprinkle Himalayan sea salt, or all I'll do is keep it in the shell, put it in a Ziploc bag and bring it with, and then unshell it, whatever, when I'm at work. Quickly chopping up some easy vegetables. For me, these easy vegetables include sweet peppers, carrots, cucumbers, tomatoes, cherry tomatoes. I also sometimes will chop up some avocado. Thirdly, easy fruit, not messy fruit. The messy fruit for me, I have found, are things like strawberries and blackberries. And unless you just you just cut them, dice them up, and have maybe like in a bowl with a spoon and a fork. But sometimes like when I just use my fingers, it gets messy and sticky, and I just don't vibe well with that sometimes. But they can. Blueberries, I do like. I love blueberries. I'll put like blueberries and grapes in a bowl and pack that. Apples are great. Oranges, they can kind of get messy, and takes a little bit of time to peel them, but oranges, bananas, sometimes they even have, if you live close to like a Hy-Vee or a grocery store, swing on over there and get some of the already cut up fruit and vegetables. That's always an option. I'm not always a fan of protein bars, but they are easy and simple. You can find ones that are less ingredients, little minimal ingredients, so I'd just be mindful of those ingredients. I like things like Quest bars, Lara bars. I kind of watch out for the sucralose though. Anyways, Lara bars, RX bars. They're simple, easy. I love them. I like them. Some people would maybe be against that, but I do like them. Also, just throwing together a quick little salad of maybe vegetables with tuna or vegetables with hard-boiled egg. I actually love doing there's two things that I love. Okay, tuna mixed with mustard and hard-boiled egg. It's kind of like a tuna salad sandwich type thing, but not the mayonnaise. It's with the mustard. It's very good. And also doing tuna with hard-boiled egg and avocado. Could maybe throw tuna, hard-boiled egg, and salsa. I've also recently been doing, this kind of takes a little bit more prep work, but the night before I will make rice. And I've been putting rice with either tuna or salmon packet or hard-boiled egg and salsa and mix that all up. And it probably doesn't look the best, but it tastes delicious and it's filling and it's quick and easy. Just don't forget to pack a spoon or a fork because I forgot that once and it was annoying. Something else that I love is having some sort of nuts. So like almonds, cashews, walnuts, and I like pairing a fruit with a nut because then it's more of like that carb and healthy fat. Also, when in a time crunch too, you can also just have a good quality, emphasis on the quality, protein powder, and you can just bring a shaker bottle, or I like to do jar with a lid, but water, milk, shake it up, and you have that. If you live, personally, my gym has a gas station and a grocery store right next door. So just be mindful of that. Because one day I just was like, oh, you know what? There's a grocery store right there. How convenient. I can always just go over there and grab something if I need to, whether it's maybe like a protein shake that's already made or getting some fruit and vegetables. If you have the time to do that, which kind of defeats the purpose of the quick tips for packing healthier options, but just be mindful of it because I remember I didn't really connect that, oh, hey, there's a grocery store right there, a gas station, I can just run over and grab some. Also, if you take the time to meal prep or make protein balls, super easy. I love them. It's protein powder, peanut butter, cinnamon, chocolate chips, raisins, whatever you want to throw in there, maybe some honey, but it's just kind of a good little treat. So when I have a sweet tooth, I like having that. If I'm at work and I want something sweeter, I can just have that. Another good option would be overnight oats. So this is also something that you make the night before. You mix together oats, and I don't really do measurements. I just kind of throw shit together. So I'll do oats, some either milk or water. Make sure it's more liquidy though, because the oats is going to absorb the liquid overnight. You can throw whatever you want in there. Bananas, peanut butter, PB2, honey, any other sort of fruits. This is a recipe next that I'm going to tell you that is super freaking simple and it is so easy. It is so delicious and nutritious. It also takes minimal work, minimal time. I'll also put this in the show notes, but it is, I get my little blender and I blend 1 cup water, 1 cup liquid whites, 1 cup oats, blend it all up, put my lid on it, and I stick it in the fridge overnight. Now, if you do, just at least have it in there for a few hours, I would say, but I like to do it overnight. Then the next day, will get it, pour it, and sometimes I'll even do this in the morning because it only takes like 5 minutes while I'm getting ready. I'll pour it into a baking dish or just some sort of dish that I can throw in the microwave it for 5 minutes, and then I take it out, kind of see what the consistency is, and then I'll do maybe another 2 minutes, and then maybe another 2 minutes. But you can just microwave it, whatever consistency you want, and then top it with whatever. I like to drizzle honey, cinnamon, bananas, blueberries, and I cut it in half and it makes 2 servings. So I cut it in half, take 1 with me, leave 1 for the next day. When I go to eat it, I eat it cold. You can heat it up or eat it hot, whatever. But it's super easy, super simple. And actually, it's kind of like a loaf of bread almost. I can't even describe it, but I'll just pick it up with my fingers and eat it if I need to. And another option is before you microwave it. So after you refrigerate it, the next day you take it out, you put it into a dish. I will sometimes put my fruit in there. So I cook it with the fruit in there before I microwave it. So bananas, blueberries. I kind of want to try throwing protein powder. I've not done that yet, but that would be good. PB2. Can play around with it, can experiment with it. I like putting peanut butter on the top too. So it is delicious, super easy. I'll link that recipe in the show notes for you. I've also simply brought vegetables and then a jar of hummus so I can dip I can dip my vegetables in hummus. And also I've gotten to the point sometimes where I wait last minute to meal prep or I don't meal prep. And in the morning I have nothing packed, nothing ready. I will just grab a knife, my peppers, a cucumber, my tomato, like I'll take the whole, like all of it. It's not cut already. I just take it whole, put it in a bag, pack my knife, and bam, done. When I'm at work, I will take my knife out and cut as I'm eating it, slice it, whatever. And it works. I feel like people just don't think of that, but that's all you got to do. I just pack myself with, and then I'll cut it right then and there. And then maybe I'll have hummus, maybe I'll just eat it plain, but just don't overthink these things. So without getting into any more meal prep, like any more meal prep than what I've already explained, those are my top foods that I would recommend. My top foods for me that are easy, that I bring on the go when I am go, when I'm traveling. Also, I would like to mention that when you are traveling, keep in mind that you can also pack things that maybe you do need to microwave and find a gas station and microwave it in there. I've done that before. But when I'm traveling, same thing. I will just pack like a big container of easy fruits, easy vegetables, maybe some hummus, some nuts. Also, PB&Js are great. I like Ezekiel bread personally just because there's healthier, dense nutrients in that as opposed to regular bread with a bunch of processed fillers in it. But that's what I do. Simple, easy, it works, not very time consuming, keeps me full, easy stuff I can grab while I'm traveling or working at the gym. And if you think of anything else, please let me know. I would like some more ideas for myself as well. If we haven't connected yet on Instagram, I am at Sophia_Dawn41. So that's SOPHIA_DAWN41. Check the show notes for that recipe I talked to you about. And that's it. I will talk to you again next week, and I will share my skydiving experience, which actually, by the way, I got notified that it is postponed 2 hours. So who knows? Right now with all this smoke, I looked at the weather and it's supposed to get more smoky into Sunday. So I don't know if we're going to maybe just postpone it and reschedule for Sunday or maybe a whole other day. Maybe we'll do it today. I don't really know. But between me and you, I actually have a feeling that it's not going to happen today. I've had this feeling for a while and the feeling is even stronger today. So we'll see what happens. And I'll share with you all of that next week. I love you. I appreciate you. I mean it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I would truly appreciate it if you left a rating and review. I love not only reading those, but also helps get the word out about my show. And it takes time. I know that. So thank you for doing that. I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, week, weekend. Bye for now. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Flow with the Grow. I'll see you next week for your daily dose of positivity and growth.